Hi, I'm Bo Li. I'm a lawyer from Zhijie Migration. Today I want to talk about a scenario that if you are fraud, you're scammed by your agent, and somehow that scam costs you have PIC 4020, that is Public Interest Criteria 4020, and which costs you have 3 years bar and very bad record on the Department Immigration's system, and which that impede you from making further application, even for the lifetime. Okay, because if you got a very bad record, if we are talking about the temporary visa, and it's very difficult to for the case officer to look over this back record and give you the visa. So in the practical sense, that could be lifetime. But for the for the permanent visa, and because there is no subjective criteria, for example the GTE criteria, genuine temporary entry criteria, and then if you meet strictly the criteria of the visa, and you can still get the visa granted after 3 years you committed this fraud to department. One scenario is you come to an agent or a lawyer, promoted lawyer, and that guy said, okay, don't worry about it, I can do, you just wait for your visa and you don't worry about anything because I am the expert, just trust me. Okay, this kind of thing happened in developing country a lot, for example China, Thailand, or even Philippines. This area got a lot of this expert, so-called expert or visa expert or specialist. Okay, so they are not even a lawyer in their own country, not to mention a practice certificate of law in Australia. So if you come to that kind of guy, they may look very legitimate. They got the registration of a business from their own country, and they said, I can do a visa for you. Australian visa is very complicated. The process is has a lot to understand, but you don't need to worry, and I can look after you. And then you said you signed the retainer or agent agreement with them, and they do the visa for you, and you get the visa happily, and then you take the visa, come to Australia, and afterward you get a call from department that said, after investigation, I'm gonna cancel your visa because the supporting documents you provided with your visitor visa application or tourist visa application or student visa application somehow is fraud, or somehow is not genuine or not legitimate documents. You get a else result to be arranged by a poster or imposter or something like that. Okay, you got the bad news, and you come to a Australian lawyer or migration agent, said, what can I do about it? Okay, normally you will get the bad news that because that your agent, that is the agent you appoint, you take every consequence arised from this guy's conduct. That's called agency principle, right? So you are the principal, and then he's your agent, therefore his conduct is binding you. Okay, but that's not always right, because if the agent is committed fraud without your authority, that in Australia law you have a remedy for that. Okay, just like a recent case, EML24, and the recent case said of the law from a previous case, Kumar, and also a couple of other cases said, if you be frauded, okay, first of all, if you be frauded and you can prove you are not participated that, and this fraud frustrated the assessing process of authority, for example, frustrated the assessing process of Department of Immigration, frustrated the process of a tribunal, appeal tribunal, and you can nullify this decision. And by the mean, in other words, this decision never happened. Okay, it can be deemed never happened. Then your 4020 bar can be overcome in that way. If So that's another way of get over the 4020 public interest criteria, apart from the traditional way. For example, the first of all, the Tribunal decision said it's an honest mistake. There's no fraud, no this kind of deception in this whole scenario. It's just an honest mistake. Or you argue that the material, the thing is not, the mistake is not material to the visa criteria. For example, they said that is just a mistake that is so irrelevant. Okay, so irrelevant. The visa criteria doesn't assess that. For example, you provide a false school report, okay? However, you're applying a child visa. This child visa doesn't necessarily need you to have a school report, okay? Therefore, you can argue that it's immaterial, okay? Or you could go to the traditional way, that even though I made mistake, I being dishonest, I committed fraud on department. However, there's a thing you need to consider that affect the interest of Australia or Australian. Okay, so that interest is so compelling that you have to give me the visa. Okay, so apart from this traditional way to get around this public interest criteria 4020, keep in mind that there's new way. If you are fraud, if you are scammed by your agent, and don't keep silent. Okay, just say that. Okay, you may get around. You may get a out of jail card from that. Thank you very much. I'm a lawyer from Zhijie Migration. If you got any question regarding Australian law, especially the Australian migration law, please call me. Thank you. Bye bye.